Hey there, also folks. It's Mentor Shelly coming to you, wanting to make sure that you are living your dream career and you're doing so professionally. Today's topic is discussing what type of interview are you going to be entering in and ways to prepare for them. We're going to talk about two different types of interviews today. We're going to talk about one, a panel interview, and two, a video conference interview. Of course, if you like the information that you hear on this channel or see or watch on this channel, and you know that somebody can find the information useful, definitely like, share, and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Or you can share that information on Facebook, IGTV, Twitter, or on Instagram, depending on IGTV, which is Instagram, depending on where you're watching this information. There are two types of interviews that we want to talk about today. These aren't the only types of interviews, but we want to definitely discuss these two today. Panel interviews. Panel interview, let me first define that. A panel interview is an interview, in-person interview. Well, we're going to talk about the in-person panel interview because there's also conference call or video conferencing panel interviews as well. We're going to talk about the in-person one in this video. The panel interview is an interview where you go in person to interview with not just one, but maybe 3, 4, or 5 representatives of the company. One of the people or two of the people that you are in the interview with may be the person you directly report to, and then the person they directly report to may also be in the room. It's extremely important that you understand that you're looking at different levels of leadership, or you're interviewing with different levels of leadership when you're going into those interviews. So it is diabolically important for you to be prepared for those interviews. You start preparing for that interview the minute you get the call that you are going to go on that interview. One, you want to make sure that you ask the question. You say, well, hey, Mr. First name, last name, we would like for you to come in on Tuesday at 3 p.m. for an interview to discuss the XYZ position. You as a candidate will say, oh, great. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you giving me a call. By the way, what type of interview is it going to be? Oh, it's going to be a panel interview. Oh, really? Okay. How many people will be on this panel? There will be 4 people on this panel. Okay. Can you give me their names? Okay. They may or may not know. If they don't know who the names are, then you're going to have, that's part of your investigative work that you have to do before you go into the interview. If they know the names, have a pen and paper, write it down. It's going to become important later on. Write those names down and ask for their titles as well. It's important to have that so you're not going in that interview blind. Write down their names. Write down the positions that they hold in the company. Okay? Also find out if there's any special parking that's required. If there's anything specific that you need to bring outside of the norm. If they want to see sample work, depending on what type of interview you're going for. Make sure that you're asking the key questions to get all of your stuff, all of your information, ready for them. So in a panel interview, you also, once you get off the phone with either representative that's calling you, whether it be a recruiter assistant or the recruiter themselves that's calling you to tell you that you'll be interviewing with a panel. At that point, once you have the information, you'll definitely start doing some investigative work as to who these people are. I'm only going to say this one thing. LinkedIn.com is a really great place to start. That's all I'm going to say about that. Now, and of course, if you're looking for, if you're struggling in this area as far as getting prepared for a panel interview, you can definitely check out my resource at mentorshelly.com/services/interview-help. This is one of the things. Once you get that information in the audio series, I go over exactly what you need to do with that information. So when you walk into that interview with those 4 panelists, you're walking in Not blindly, but you walking in like a boss, ready to take on the challenge of 4 different people, 4 different personalities, and 4 of them observing not just your verbal communication, but your nonverbal communication. So you're definitely going to need to be prepared for that, and key. So there's just one of the ways you definitely want to prepare. Now, to prepare for a video conference interview, there's a few things that I want to make sure that you know that you would need to do. 1, dress like you're going to a full interview, please. I know it sounds silly. I know it's remote. Don't just dress from the waist up. Because I was in a specialized career workshop. And the instructor for the workshop told us this really crazy story about how this guy was on a video conference interview. And he only dressed from the waist up for the interview. And he's sitting around the table. And somehow, Mr. Genius needed to use the bathroom and said, "Excuse me for a moment. I'll need to step away for a moment." And they were also on. Somehow, there was a break in their interview, and they told him to hold on. And then he said, "You just use the opportunity to go use the bathroom." He wasn't fully dressed, and he completely forgot he wasn't fully dressed. So when he got up, he forgot to not only cover the camera, they saw him in his underwear. That is not the impression you want to give to your possible future employer. You don't want them to see your underwear. So it's important that you dress fully for these interviews. Yes, it's a video interview, and yes, it's remote, but you do not want to be caught literally with your pants or skirt down, depending on if you're female or male. Please fully dress for these interviews and go through the necessary preparation like you would for a regular interview, because you are going to get asked questions just like if you were face to face. The only reason you're doing it through video, it's maybe for your convenience or theirs. Or it was easier for them to do an interview video based on whatever is going on in their industry at the time, or what's going on in their particular organization at the time. So don't think because it's remote that you don't have to dress fully for the interview. You don't want to get so comfortable that you forget that you don't have on full clothes. So dress properly for the interview. Just a tip. I would hate for you guys to completely throw away your chances of working for a company all because you didn't feel like dressing the entire way. Anyway, guys, these are just some of the things that I want to make sure that you do, that you don't do, that you are prepared for during your interview adventures. And of course, if you are struggling in this area and you really do need some one-on-one assistance with this type if this type of process, and you're looking for one-on-one to work with me to make sure that you get the industry specific coaching and training and preparation for this interview outside of what I offer in the audio series, definitely schedule an interview session with me by going to mentorshelley.com/services/interview sessions, and we will go through in-depth questions, things you would need to do, particularly that's not in the interview help audio series, that we will go through to make sure that you're not only prepared, but you will dominate that interview like a boss. Not that you're trying to run the interview, but you kind of are. And you want to make sure that professionally that you're going to fit into that organization. So of course, guys, if you find this information helpful, or you know somebody that is getting ready to go into an interview and that definitely needs this information, please like, share, and subscribe to the YouTube channel or IGTV, or on Facebook. Share the information so they can take advantage of the information as well as you. Of course, if you have any additional questions, you can also leave me a voice message or an email message at mentorshelley.com/contact. And I will return that voicemail and that email within 24 hours. And as always, this is Mentor Shelley, wanting to make sure that you are a better version of yourself professionally, and that you are truly living your dream career. But you can't do so unless you're prepared. So be prepared, guys. Take care and you have a good one. Bye.